goalbuddycast. Goalbuddycast. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to the episode of Full Buddy Cast presents Goal Buddy Cast. We've got Adam, Kenney, my brother.
That's me.
And we got Sara Johnson, who's not here yet. I don't know.
That's me.
That actually was a really good. That
Thank
sounded
you.
like her.
I said it exactly the way I said it before.
I know, but that sounded like her. Let's do a little quick Sara impression. Like, that's really good, Adam.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Like, that's really good, Adam.
Thank you so much.
I think that's really good, Adam.
You're doing a really good one, but that's the only thing you're saying.
Yeah, but that's all she says. That's really good, Travis.
That's really good.
That's really good.
That's really good, Travis.
That sounds like Sara. Sara's here.
That's really good.
For Goal Buddy Cast, we talk about the previous month's goals and how that went. We talk about what's coming up for us, and maybe we'll share a little bit as well. The main thing also, though, is the listener participation. We had plenty of it this week. I can't wait to read all your guys' stuff that's been DM'd to me. Adam, did you get some too?
Nope.
Perfect. This is why we do it. I do all the legwork. Adam sits down for 15 minutes and then walks out the door and maybe shares the episode.
And I don't get paid for any of it.
It's true. That's a good point.
We need to talk about this.
What?
What's the difference between a guest and a host on this Full Buddy Cast?
You're a guest host.
Okay, well, it seems like the main host gets all the perks.
Yeah, well, who's putting all the work in? Who's grinding it?
Hey, man, I drive here.
Yeah, you drive here.
Hey, man.
I could probably... I think I bought you... no, you did. You bought me tikka enchiladas. How were those tikka enchiladas at Mazatlan, by the way?
They were good. I really liked them.
They were filling.
They were fly. I like the cheese ones. It's one I wouldn't normally go for because it's so much cheese already.
It's already a lot of cheese.
A lot of cheese, but it's really good.
But it's like a dessert of cheese. It's like a cheese dessert of cheese,
like a cheesecake,
like a cheesecake burrito, enchilada.
I think we got something.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into goals. I don't know what my last month's was.
Perfect.
Do you know mine?
Yours had to do with this podcast, I think. Yours are always kind of vague.
I was trying to figure out 2022. Hey, cool thing by that is I am in the process of figuring that out.
Nice.
And I needed I think I didn't release for a while. I mean, I sporadically still did the garage nights and the fantasy football and all that, Full Buddy fantasy football. But for the most part, did you text Sara?
No.
Okay. For the most part, I'm still working that out. That's good. Here's my goal for this upcoming month. This upcoming month goal is to we're hosting the Kenney side for Christmas.
Yes.
Right? I've been really into so there's two things going on. Cooking. I've started to do my own sauces. You know, like I'm not talking like ketchup, and I'm talking like spaghetti sauce. For today, simmered it for 4 hours.
Whoa!
A little bit of garlic, freshly cut up garlic, freshly cut up onions. Put in some oil, let that simmer. Throw in some diced tomatoes. Throw in some tomato paste, tomato sauce, oregano, some garlic powder. You get it.
I do.
Adam's nodding.
We make sauces at home.
See, and that's actually I kind of like that part. I made chicken parmesan for the first time. I watched a little video on it. I'm loving YouTube while I do these things. I think when someone says, "Hey, make this," you're a little bit intimidated. You want to do it, but the YouTube videos, just jumping online, seeing the recipes, seeing how long it's going to take. One person said to me today, she said, "I would really like to cook like that, but I just know that I'll be in the kitchen for like 45 minutes to an hour."
Well, you mentioned 4 hours of simmering, and I'm wondering why would you need to simmer a sauce for 4 hours?
The reason is, and Joey Hollenbach will back me up on this, because
I've had his chicken.
He's
the man is a gourmand.
Those are inside jokes. He's going to probably punch you in the face next time he sees you. Because when I saw him, where did I see him at? No, I went down to the shop and I saw him, and I showed him the video of me as him for Halloween.
Yeah. How do you think of that?
And he snickered, but it wasn't like a like a ha ha. It was like a ha ha, I might kill you now.
Right. Anger behind the eyes.
For sure. But the low heat with everything.
Well, with onions for sure, because that can caramelize those. So it depends on what you're doing.
But you're low heating it, and what low heat does, and that's why you do the same thing with like when you cook a meat low heat, because you usually have something. It just starts to blend. The flavors blend. So if you are, cooking with spices and you're cooking with some very like onions and garlic and that, it's oregano. For me, I also do the same thing with steak. So I've got what's that stuff that you throw in there? I don't even remember. But anyway, you throw it in there and you let it go.
Well, with steaks, you want
Mr. Methvin, by the way.
Steaks, you want to go fast. You want to go high heat.
Yeah, but
sorry for the noise I just made. But you want to sear it and then you put it in the oven on a low setting.
Yeah, you're right. But when you're blending what you're gonna throw the steak into, like a little oil, a little garlic, little Pat. Now what's that? What's that? It's not oregano. I got oregano stuck in my head. Rosemary.
Marie.
Yeah.
Rosemary.
The neighbor. Throw her in there.
Is this your Norm Macdonald?
Yeah.
Rosemary.
Oh, the old bat, Rosemary. Hit her with the old bat and throw her in.
Yeah.
So I call her old bat Rosemary. Hit her with the old bat.
I don't know who you sound like. You sound like Ed Abbott or something.
Anyways.
Here's a thought. One thing I've noticed, because we cook.
I just ate, so I got the coughs. Go ahead.
That's fair. You'll find that lots of sauces, whether it's like Indian food or Italian food or whatever, they start with that onion. Well, you start with some oil in a warm pan. You heat it up. Then you throw some onion and some garlic. Everything starts with onion. And
everything
garlic.
Starts with that. Also, everything's a sandwich. Did you know that?
Everything is a sandwich.
Think about it. Everything has the same ingredients as a sandwich. Bread, stuff that goes in the middle of it. More bread.
I don't know
spaghetti.
I'm not
stringy bread sandwich.
So you're saying carbs? Everything has carbs.
Everything is a sandwich. Burrito is just a rolled up, flattened out bread. Yeah. Throw in it. So everything's a sandwich.
So then everything is flour.
Everything is flour.
Flour, water, egg. Egg is in so many things.
So many things.
It's a great binding agent.
It is. It's very good. All right. Anyway, talked enough about food, but I like my food, and plus we're going to be hosting the Christmas party for the first time, and so I don't have a lot of like remodeling to do. I know like Seth Loop and a few other people were like last year they were like really focused on remodeling. I probably should remodel a few things. I'm not worried about that. I just want to get it organized and clean and like.
Yeah, you don't have time between now and Christmas.
So we're gutting the house.
Remodel your house.
So that's why we're getting.
You know what? This isn't a Christmas party anymore. It's a work party.
Work party.
Tim Noah, you're coming.
I've got somebody, my phone,
emailing you, texting you.
Call someone. Oh, that's just the high school. High school calls like every day.
About what?
It's just this is Dr. Carey's newsletter. It's just every day there's something new. It's like kids are not allowed to attend them. It's like I don't care. I don't care anymore.
You need to know these things, though.
I don't.
You know what? So since I've been a professor, when you first start a quarter, you're reading every email. Every email's coming in. You're like, yes, okay,
yeah.
Right, yep. I'm
replying back, thanks.
Yep. And then halfway through, I'm like, I really don't care.
Do I need to do this anymore?
No, you don't.
Right. So we're done.
So you're prepping. You're prepping for Christmas. That's your goal.
My goal.
So your goal is basically to get ready for Christmas.
Yeah. And here's another.
What do you do normal years?
Yeah, it's just the same stuff, but what we're gonna do is we have a large family. I'm gonna take the garage out there. I'm gonna make it kind of put a TV out there.
Okay.
Music. Decorate that a little bit.
That's exciting.
Let that be more of like a game room,
cool.
game area where people want to go chill, have some hot chocolate, watch a Christmas movie. I
love it.
Okay, there you go. Another thing is this is a mindset goal.
Goal.
Okay. I'm reading a book by Wooden, Dr. Chuck Wooden or whatever.
The coach.
The coach.
Yeah. Is it
Coach
Chuck?
Wooden.
Chuck Knox.
I went with Chuck.
Ron Wooden?
No.
Rod Wooden.
No.
Chuck Wooden.
I think it's Chuck Wooden.
Charles Wooden.
Googling it. That's the
Why am I
Denmark.
thinking Ron or
Duck,
Ron?
duck, Google.
No, you're
Okay.
probably right. Just keep talking.
Anyway, I'm reading it because I have to do a leadership thing for work, and so he's a great. I've heard.
It's not Chuck.
Just say Wooden.
Coach Wooden. John Wooden.
John Wooden. Too close to Gruden, so maybe I don't want to listen to this guy anymore.
It might be, yeah.
But Coach John Wooden, I've
Greatest coach in history.
liked him for a long time. No, I've heard good things about him. Kellen Hall said some nice things about him. Other people that have read books say, hey, this guy's a good guy, it's a good guy, it's a good guy. So I was walking by work, and I'm in this leadership class. I saw a book that was sitting there, so I nabbed it. Kid's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, it doesn't talk about, like, if you may not be getting A's. He used to be a high school teacher or whatever. And he said that he understands it because he became a dad and a grandparent, and you want your kids to always get all A's, but not every kid is going to get all A's. All he wanted them to do was measure success as doing the best you can in that subject. And there were two things that his dad told him and his brothers, and that was do the best you can and don't look at the other, to try to beat the other person.
Okay.
Which makes no sense, except for the fact that you just don't focus on that.
Right.
So
Right.
there you go.
That's good advice.
So success, I'm always measuring it like, I got to be as good as these people, or I got
There's comparisons.
yeah, and it's like if you don't compare and just you probably enjoy it a lot more too.
I think so. I think that's kind of what I'm learning as well. And I'll talk about my goals because it kind of lines up with what you're talking about here a little bit.
Let me share the last thing.
Oh, please.
Because I've been thinking about this.
Okay.
Okay, I like goalbuddycast. So here's the thing. One of my friends, it took them 10 years to realize a personal goal. And I'm not talking about things that you probably can't, like pregnancy. That's not what I'm talking about. It's not pregnancy.
Sure.
It's not like finding love. It's like it's like a personal goal of feeling the courage to, and having it. Basically, all I'm saying is, and I got to apologize to you, Adam Kenney.
Okay.
As a take charge older brother, that you are, I'm going to say the past few years, you've been trying to find your way art wise, in without getting deep into it.
Sure.
You know what you like, you know what you want to do, you know what you really didn't want to do. But also you probably had that personal, man, I wish I was making money at this at least. At least I wanted to at least do something that I can enjoy with this, that I've really looked to make my career and perfect my craft, my talent, and all that. But it just wasn't happening. So for me, as I take charge, I'm like, hey, let's get a website going. Let's get this. Let's get this. If you get this, you get that. You get that. And it's something that...
That's what you sounded like.
I did. And you know what? It probably, yeah, sure. I guess that maybe would have worked here and there.
Probably not, but could have.
Absolutely would have worked. But, I mean, you'd be in a millionaire mansion right now.
When's
but
the apology coming? There's a lot of setup for this apology.
I just think you're wrong, and I'm sorry about that.
This always happens.
This always happens.
You read my mind.
Hey, come here and give me a hug and then leave, okay?
I want a hug too.
I love you. That's my daughter. She loves this.
It's cold out,
This,
huh?
this always happens. Yeah, we got people coming. So that scared the crap out of me, too. Yeah. Have fun door dashing with her.
We're not door dashing with her. Kane's gonna watch her because I'm doing all Kane's chores right now.
I doubt that happens.
So anyways, this apology.
This apology tour.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Anyway, yes. Now look at you. You're a professor.
thank you.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing,
Doing
it
it
well.
well.
You represent Queens.
Like it's.
She was straight out of Brooklyn. She
I
represents
don't know
Queens. I
all
was
the
straight out of
lyrics.
Brooklyn. Anyway, you picking your nose and chewing it.
Hey,
You're doing it.
shadow boxing when I heard you on the radio.
Wrong song.
I just don't know.
Same artist. Anyway, no, but I was thinking about that. I was thinking how this person realized their goal after almost a lifetime goal, so to speak, and they're gonna go do it. And I thought, you know what, that's great. And then it made me think about you. And it's all about timing. It's all about opportunity. But success, What does that say up there? Right next to Casey Kane? It says success
I love
is when opportunity meets preparation. And then next to it says, I love Travis Kenney. And then I do a bubble to his mouth.
That's what I noticed.
I love Travis Kenney. He's the coolest. That's what Casey Kane said. He said those
Yeah.
two things. Hard work,
Words to live by.
preparation,
Words to live by.
H. Anyway. So I was just thinking about, so I'm sorry when I look at you and I go, man, what's he doing? He needs to be doing this. He needs to be doing that. He needs to be doing this. And now look at you. That was the apology.
Thank you.
You did it.
Yeah.
And
well,
success isn't measured by a man of what they have accomplished. Success, according to Dr. John Gruden Wooden. I was reading these emails.
Lots of wisdom in those emails.
All right, go ahead. Sorry. Your goals.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad you worked past your narcissism.
And that's enough time for you. Let's read some people's.
Okay. So last month, my goal was to lay off the
Close to the edge. We're not trying to lose our heads.
lay off the phone,
Yes.
because when I get my phone out and it falls, there's broken glass everywhere.
People piss on the stage.
No, they just don't care. And so I have a little phone tracker thing that shows me how many hours a week I'm spending on it.
So
daily.
you look at your phone to track your phone? That's
Well-
going to increase it.
Yeah, I know, and that's what's happened. I'm just always on this thing, crunching my data. No, let's see. So what's nice is I can see it's kind of going slow right now. I wonder if it must have to connect. Anyways, I can see that over the previous 4 weeks, it's gone down and down and down. It's gone from it's going down. It's gone down from 34 hours a week, which if you divide 34 by 7, you get what? You get 4.5 or something. Am I doing math right? No, you get 5 and almost 6. Anyways, that's a lot of hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
But I also work at a job where I'm just on my phone all the time anyways. So, but I have gotten it down to where this past week I was at 24 hours. So I dropped 10 hours a week, which is pretty good. And
So it's an average of over an hour a day. That's really good.
Yeah. And if you look at this previous Saturday, I was only on it for about 2 hours. Previous Thursday, 2 hours. So yeah, I'm slowly weaning myself off of my phone. So that was my goal last month. And then you were talking about something, and you were talking about giving me an apology, and it had to do with
I did. And I apologized that I thought success is measured.
right.
You needed to get going. What are you doing sitting around? Go hard, go hard, go hard.
John
Gruden Wooden.
So this month, so let me set up for this a little bit. So I was at Half Price Books the other day.
Could you sing the song?
Is there a song for Half Price Books?
Half price books for everyone.
Is that on the radio or something? I never heard
know.
that before. Except for you and you and you. You're paying full price. Anyway, so I was at Half Price Books. I was with Amber. We were shopping around, and I normally go to the same sections. I go to I check to see what sort of board games they have. I check to see what sort of art books they have.
Mm-hmm.
I check to see what sort of fiction they have for some of my favorite authors. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to look in some sections I haven't really looked in before.
Adult.
I can maybe learn a little bit.
Adult.
So I was all into that anime manga. Those Japanese know how to draw.
Oh, that speaks racist. No.
No, that's not racist. It's cultural. It's culturist. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways.
I just got canceled.
Dang
too.
it. No, people know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I went to the history section. I was like, this is boring. So then I moved on to the business marketing section, and I found a book called 17 bloggers who make six figures or something like that.
Whoa.
And I was just looking at the format of the book.
I knew this was coming up.
It's small. It's a small format.
I read that. Keep going. All right. Yeah.
You read that book?
No. I
Oh.
read the email.
You
And
read
then I
the
read the
email.
follow-up email.
Yeah, the oops, I forgot to, yeah. But as I was reading it, or as I was reading through it, looking through it, well, I ended up buying it because it's half price. I mean, come on. And so you have to invest a little bit of money.
You mean you didn't stand
It's
there
like
for
$5.
you didn't stand there for 4 hours and just read the whole book?
No, I didn't.
Sorry, you gotta read.
But reading through it, what was really interesting to me was seeing things that hadn't occurred to me. So every time I've thought about designing my website, every time I've thought about like increasing sales, for instance, like you were talking to me for years now saying, hey, what about this idea? What about this idea? What about this idea? Try to iterate on these things and come up, and plan, and then come out with it. Go. And there's kind of like a balance between just going and planning at the same time.
Right.
I think there's something to that. But I always was thinking in terms of like slightly desperation, because I was for 3 years, I was the sole income of me and my wife.
Right.
Now she's making more money than me, which is awesome.
Dude, it's great.
But it takes pressure off.
Hey.
She's my sugar mama.
Hey, pound it.
I can't read. So she is that's taking a lot of pressure off of me. Like all the money that I'm making is going towards student loans. It's awesome. Just like throwing it.
Just toss it in. Burn it.
But at the same time, it's like I'm weighing my options more, and I'm looking. And so, but my default, because of the desperation training, is like, how can I make more money? How can I make money? How can I make money? And I find that when I think like that, it actually is really a big detriment, because I start focusing on the wrong things instead of like thinking, how can I offer a service, or how can I create something that people will enjoy and engage with. I think more on how can I like make a sale, and how can I like give a discount, and so that people will buy my stuff, And I've noticed that in the past, people buy my stuff when they're engaged with what I'm doing rather than when I offer a discount.
Yes.
So reading this book, thinking about things more clearly has been super helpful. Some of the tips in this book are really great. Like the idea of somebody was trying to grow their email list, which, by the way, I want to grow my email list. It's a good thing to grow your email list because it's not dependent on an algorithm like everything else is. You just send emails to people who want emails from you, and it's a great way to reach out. So if people want to go to adamkennyart.com and join my mailing list, go for it. But this person was just growing and growing and growing, and they weren't making much headway with it. So they were like, well, what if I instead look in and see who's actually engaging with my stuff, and then delete all these other people who are on my email list, and just get the people who are interested in what I'm doing. And they saw everything that they were doing started to succeed at a huge rate because they had actually a more focused client base that they could actually like, or follower, whatever, base that they could actually engage with. So I'm just, there's a lot of ideas swimming around my head, lots of ways in which I'm trying to incorporate them into what I'm doing. I like writing.
Right.
I like that sort of stuff. My main issue has been consistency. I'm working on that. I do have about 27 blog posts on my website. And I'm just trying to add, right now my current goal is to, back to goals.
That's your goal. What's your goal?
Yeah, my current goal is to get at least 3 blog posts a week through the end of the year. I know we're doing monthly goals, but that's like...
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean,
So let me just, before you start...
Let me interrupt you and tell you how to do this.
There's a guy who is a very successful blogger who, it's not his full-time gig.
Yeah. JPEG.
Yeah. GIF.
Right.
But he says that his main advice to anybody who wants to start writing online is to write 100 articles as quickly as you can, which seems crazy. But what it does is it builds up your database of articles.
See, that's the thing. Okay, can I interrupt you?
And then you can slow down. No, he's slowed down to the point where he's doing like 2 a week. Or
yeah,
what,
so that's the same mentality that I had with Full Buddy Cast. Okay, because people want to binge. They do. They want to binge. They want if they're interested. If they're interested, they want to binge, and then they want to binge at their pace. So they may like not listen, they've caught up on the 400 episodes. Shout out Amanda Keating, Desi B, a few others. I think Jamie Roberts too. and then they may just like set it aside for like 3 weeks, and then because they know I'm releasing, and maybe they'll be like, you know what, that sounds interesting. I'll listen to the one that was just posted, and then they'll just go and they have to block a time, and then they'll go and chew right through them again.
Yeah.
So I like that. It gets them enough to where they're not waiting on, like,
Right.
if you're just starting something out.
Right. And it also helps me get better at writing.
Find your voice.
And finding my voice and starting to see like, okay, that didn't really work that well, or this worked better.
Right.
And I had actually I wrote a blog post about it today, but like I had a moment in class today where there was a student who was totally frozen in what they were doing, and they didn't know how to proceed with this painting. And they were like missing the most important part of it, because there's this
The
painting
canvas.
of it. They were like, where do I start? Hey, well, you need a surface to paint on.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so my advice to them was just get paint on the canvas.
Yes.
And start to work with that. Like if you just dive in, you can start to actually do
Right.
stuff with it instead of feeling frozen by it. So anyway, so I think that this is going to be a good thing for me. I at first I was like, well, if I because one thing I want to do is stay engaged with my audience through emails. And I'm
Right.
thinking, but if I'm constantly posting and I'm constantly sending emails saying, hey, here's the new blog post. Hey, here's the I thought, what if instead I do a few blog posts a week?
Right.
At the end of the week, I send an email listing the blogs that I did that week, and then if they're interested in it, they can click on them from there, instead of constantly saying, "Hey, new blog post, new blog post."
Let me jump in real quick.
Please do.
I love it. We're going to move on, but I love it.
Thank you.
For people like me, I could read 1 page a day more often and be engaged than read a whole book in a month. Because I'll always put the book away. I'll do it tomorrow. That's why devotions, this is coming from back in, Christian, just like if someone were handing me a devotions book, a daily devotions book, where it was just going to be a blurb and you read this verse, or here's a book to read and power through. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm taking that devotional book every single time because that means that I know I'm going to read it more. I'm going to be more engaged. And if I miss it by like a day or two, I can read 2 or 3 in a row. I also know that I can pick it up, put it down. Like it's a lot easier. So for you, here is my helpful advice.
Please.
I read that blog you wrote.
And it blew.
And then I stopped reading it.
So you read it, but you stopped reading it.
I read
Didn't
about
engage you.
I read about halfway through. No, it was
Travis. Hold on, I'm taking this. Travis
death.
is a bad audience.
So
Don't
so
trust him. You're seeing Memento? I'm gonna get this tattooed to my body. Don't trust him.
no. So what I think is what I'm trying to say is this. I don't know if you've ever seen Nathan For You.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
And you have Nathan For You ideas for me?
Did you see the character guy who?
Yes, the character
That
artist.
was and he just succeeded so well. It just blew Nathan away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's a
Anyway,
good one.
YouTube that one if you want. But mine is if I know that you're going to be writing, and I'm going to get another email in the next day or two, then just write about half what you wrote the first time.
Email different people.
But see, that's me. When I first started doing the podcast, someone's like, hey, 20 minutes. You should just cut it down to 20 minutes. And that's because he liked it. And then I've had other people say, hey, go 2 hours. And that's how they like the 2 hours. I've settled nicely with the 40 minutes, 40-minute podcast.
Wait for Travis's
To die.
apology in 2 years.
Call Sarah Johnson. I like that because I feel like that's the same thing that you're doing with, like Sarah was talking about how she was just getting into hot yoga. Like it wasn't that she was looking for any like weight loss or anything like that. It was just
Right.
like just
doing it.
just getting in there 3 times. Yo,
Hey there.
how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So we shared ours. Are you ready to share
Okay.
yours?
Yeah. What were your guys's?
First off, we thought you were going to come here, but we did a good Sarah M. Johnson impersonations at the very beginning, so you're going to have to listen to that.
Okay.
They're really good.
Really good.
They're really good.
Whose was better?
That was us. That was both of us. We just said really good back to each other, back and forth for like a minute.
It's really good.
Because you're very positive in how you talk, and you enunciate the varies. They're very good.
Oh, yeah. I'm dramatic.
Yes,
That's true.
that's true. Hey, and I'm not either. And I've never embellished a day in my life.
No.
It's my Norm Macdonald. All right, so mine is this. I'm going to be hosting Christmas in my house for because we bought the house, bought the place, and the Kenney side, which is a large side, several families, and that's not fat shaming, large side, but they are coming over, and lots of cousins, lots of aunts, lots of uncles and friends, and so I'm hosting that. So I'm just kind of getting focused on that. That's going to be me just cleaning up, organizing. That's my goal. Adam's goal is
Contribute to my blog.
he's going to blog, and he's going to do it's like the Sara hot yoga effect. He's going to pump out a bunch, but his focus is just getting 3 out a week. Kind of like you. Like just get there. There's no real goal of other than just being there 3 times a week. So he's doing the sauna, hot yoga, blog approach. That's his goal.
I'm doing blog-a-lattes. Blog-a-lattes?
Blogalates.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's good.
Isn't
That's
that a thing? Isn't that like a
It's
workout thing?
website.
Pilates.
I don't know.
Well, you're doing blogalates?
I'm doing Love Sweat Fitness. Burger in my mouth.
All right. So how did your goal go last month? It was stay celibate.
I covered that one. Didn't even try. Got it done.
Nailed it, literally by not getting nailed. Didn't nail it. Anyway, so back to you.
The only goal I achieved this entire time.
What's your goal?
Well, I am right now. I'm really on a big health kick, and I've been on one for a while. And I quit drinking probably about 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
And that was going good. I did go out one night and drink with my friend Danica, who's from Enumclaw too.
Shout out Danica.
Danica A. Soon.
Yep. And but that was fun, and I actually only had a couple drinks and I minded my manners, so it wasn't like I
cool.
did too much damage.
That's good.
But,
at the birthday party, you probably would have been jumping off the balcony. So I'm glad you didn't come to the birthday party. I didn't want you to jump off a balcony. Thank you for not going.
You're welcome.
If I thank you for not going, I feel way better.
Things to do.
I feel less rejected if I thank you for not coming to something.
Yeah. Well, and just the opportunity to tell you you're welcome is something I always look forward to.
Don't mention it. No, seriously, please don't mention it.
Yeah, so I've been really good about that, and also just eating super healthy. I deleted Uber Eats off of my phone.
Wow. And then downloaded DoorDash?
Yeah. So it's not like I was doing that every day or something, but it's just I live in Seattle and it's really easy to get whatever I want within an hour delivered to my doorstep. So that's just not part of my goal. So I deleted that, and I've just been cooking basically protein and vegetables at home and drinking a ton of water and not drinking any alcohol. And I'm not eating any sugar.
Wow.
So
were you diagnosed with anything? What was this? What was the, hey, I got to get my act together?
Nothing really. I was just feeling like crap. And I was like, I keep complaining about this like for a long time and I'm not doing anything. And I like keep having the intention to do something. Like I keep talking about it here. And still I'm not like losing the weight that I want to. I'm not feeling better. I'm not actually like killing it at all. So I was like, okay, well, I just need to like cut it out.
Oh, wow. Like Uncle, like Joey. Like
Joey.
like Full House. You just cut that out. Well, good. Well, and then is this a goal for the month? Is this till 2022? Are you just going till you want to just, I'm good now?
Yeah, I'll probably ride this out until the end of the year.
And then 2022, baby, is on.
Yeah. Then I'm getting crazy then.
I actually had somebody ask me if we actually all slept in the booths at the Lee. And maybe that was the point where we all thought, because remember when you, me, and Andy went down to the Lee for that breakfast, that one, and I posted.
No, but I saw the picture.
Yeah. And then I posted, hey, we could, slept in the booth so we could be the first in line for breakfast. And someone asked me like, did you guys really sleep at the Lee in the booths? And I said, no. Why would I take Mavis's spot? Oh! I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just kidding. Boom, did it. Just kidding. I can make fun of Mavis. We're cool. As a joke. As jokes only, though. But, all right. So that's your goal. We're going to hold you to it.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're going to help you. So if
strong.
you come out to Enumclaw, which may be the thing that hurts to do. Maybe it's like...
That's actually quite a trigger for me. I can go out in Seattle and